Alright, so here I am with the Shirou video that I was talking about, or just some type of video just so I can know more about this version of Shirou. And yes, it's going to be by Tsiah, and I know I've probably been doing Tsiah quite a lot. That's just because, is that like I like him more than Otaku? I just guess it's more like a little bit more energy, I guess you could say, in Tsiah as compared to Otaku. That's just me though. Like Otaku, his would just be kind of straight to the point, but Tsiah, he adds a little bit more energy into it, I guess. It's a little bit different from his lore video or from Otaku's because of, simply looking at like pictures or something for like not 5 minutes, but like 2 minutes, per image or something. Yeah, you're seeing kind of a lot at once, but that's just me. But other than that, I hope you guys will enjoy this. I'll just get this up started real quick. Hope you leave a like and subscribe, and yeah, just get this thing started.
Amakusa Shirou, leader of the Shimabara Rebellion. His story begins in the Edo period. A greater portion of his life is shrouded in mystery. Since childhood, he devoted most of his days to education. By the time he
got to the books,
he was already able to recite Confucian literature.
What?
The people were shocked by this feat and found
it
impressive for someone his age. As he reaches 9, he begins to train under a samurai named Susa Hanajo. For 3 years, he studies under Hanajo's guidance, becoming a skilled swordsman. When Hanajo's ruler began to lose influence, Shirou makes his way back home. At 12, he continues on to Nagasaki and studies to become a medical doctor. In order to make a living, he begins to work for a Chinese merchant. The merchant was confounded by Shirou's aptitude. He praises the young man, stating that he's too intelligent to be doing such a low-class job. Meanwhile, in Western Japan, things weren't looking too good. So in the 13th century, the Chinese brought firearms to Japan. But to tell the truth, they sucked. So the Japanese didn't use them. I mean, look at it. What is this, a whistle?
Yeah,
but when the 16th century rolled around, the Portuguese brought the real heat.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Weapons that'll actually hurt somebody. These men were also Catholic, but the Japanese didn't mind because they wanted the weapons. So they were willing to look the other way. So everything's cool. Then all of a sudden, they start to Christianize everything, okay? Bibles and crosses everywhere. Even the feudal lords started following this religion. It's like, whoa, we didn't ask y'all to do all that. We just wanted the guns. People started to ignore the native beliefs like Buddhism and Shinto and just adopted Christianity. That wasn't even the problem. The problem was that they were literally forcing people to convert. And they were partaking in Japanese slavery.
Everybody's supposed to just have their own belief.
We gotta get these guys.
And that's why we have so much.
This is where they started to ban them. Toyotomi Hideyoshi issues an edict stating not to let these missionaries into the country. After this, he crucified 26 of them in Nagasaki to show this is not a joke. We do not want y'all in here.
They're not playing.
From that point on, it only got worse. After his death, Japan's government, or the Tokugawa shogunate, tightened up on this perspective even further. They claimed that these people were attempting to subvert the culture. We go over to Shimabara, Japan. Here lies a Japanese noble family called the Arama clan. The Arama clan was already converted. So the head of the family is Christian, and he's seeing all these people being persecuted for being Christian. Naturally, it's making him kind of uncomfortable. Back of his neck is sweating a little bit. He says that he wants out. So he asks could he be moved somewhere else. In his place, a new clan called the Masakuras took their spot. And when this happened, literally all fucks were thrown out the window. For a multitude of years, the Masakura clan overtaxed their residents for no reason whatsoever, which later resulted in famine. When they moved to this domain, they started construction on the Shimabara castle. Guess who paid for it? Certainly not them, no. The same people that they overtaxed.
That's...
And to add on, if you were
like,
Christian
what is
and
going
you were on their
on?
turf, no talking, executed. It was a wrap. In Amakusa, Japan, it was no different. The lords would use rice as a land tax whether the farmers could come up with it or not. There was no concern for starvation or the drought that they were going through. If you don't pay your tax, I'm throwing your daughters in jail.
Jeez.
Come on, fam. But what rain? What rain? You know we're in a drought.
Yeah, they're not treating their people right.
Damn what you're in. Just know, if you don't have that rice by tomorrow, I'm gonna bust your kneecaps. The Tokugawa shogunate were unforgiving. Christians were arrested. Some of them were thrown into boiling water. Some were buried alive.
What?
Farmers who couldn't pay got tied up in straw and set on fire.
This is insane.
It seemed as if the future was dim for the villagers. However, Francis Xavier shared a prophecy that began to come into fruition. A child prodigy would appear and pull these victims from despair. This prodigy was none other than Shirou, who had just returned from Nagasaki. He drifts through Amakusa preaching the gospel. People, I've come from over yonder to give you this good word. Now it feels so
Nah, bro, got the music.
Nigalations.
Hey, yo.
And he saith unto him, thou shalt never be bitch made.
Okay,
He took all the power in
Say
his
it.
hand and blessed his oppressor. Hallelujah.
Okay.
You're a Kobe.
This is Tsiah from 6 years ago. Okay.
Assortment of words.
Very, very interesting.
Rumors started to spread among the villagers that whoever devoted themselves to the Lord would be relieved of their sorrows, but in other religions, they wouldn't survive. Shirou insisted on proving his authenticity to the villagers. A pigeon flew down and laid an egg in the palm of his hand. He then proceeds to pull a picture of Jesus from this same egg. How, Sway? He continued to perform these miracles, such as healing wounds and walking on water. Even though the religion was prohibited, the people started to worship him as the incarnation of God. This was no coincidence. Shirou was a spellcaster. In all honesty, he didn't know the fundamentals of magecraft. It was just a natural talent that came to him in bursts. This latent ability for the supernatural coined him as the boy of miracles. Their pain was alleviated by Christianity. It was the only thing the people had left. Unfortunately, the Masakura tried to take that away from them too.
Jeez,
Shirou's
like, come on.
There was a myriad of samurai in this region who served the Christian warlord. This warlord was Konishi Yukinaga, but Yukinaga passed away, leaving his samurai to become Ronin. These Ronin were also Christian, and just like all the others, they were treated with the same disrespect. It got to a point where they couldn't take it anymore. They decided to band together and induct Shirou as their leader to rise up against the shogunate. Shirou did not deny this request, as he felt like these people were corrupt, they were evil, and that Christianity was the only true way. He adopts the name Amakusa from the region and begins his insurrection. Christians from Amakusa and Shimabara flocked to Shirou's side to aid him in this rebellion. They accepted him as their savior and agreed to obey his word to the very end. The rebels then make an attempt to take their feudal lord's palace, but their venture was fruitless. In search of a proper defense, Shirou's Amakusan army sailed to Shimabara. Here, they united with the rest of the followers and built palisades from the boats they traveled with. They also plundered weapons, ammunition, and provisions from Matsukura storehouses prior to this. The rebels barricaded themselves inside Hera Castle. The shogun sent warlord Atakura to get rid of the followers. Masashi Miyamoto was also a part of the campaign as an advisor.
Yeah, she gotta be a part of something.
She got knocked off her horse by a rock, so nobody really knows she was there. The campaign begins.
Well that was quick.
Reason, the soldiers thought it would be a good idea to just rush in. Don't know why. They pull up to the castle and they get stomped. This was their first mistake. I guess they thought the Christians were pushovers or something. So they fall back, reinforcements come. It's like, okay, we just underestimated y'all. But now, it's over, son. The shogunate get pushed back again. Now, Atakara is feeling played. Man, y'all out here making me look bad. So he orders a full-blown attack. Many contingents tried with all their might, and they failed miserably.
Dang.
When Atakara tried to deliver one
Just got
final
washed.
blow, it was too late. His soldiers had already given up. So he takes the few soldiers that were still willing to follow and rushes into the castle. A storm of bullets pick them off one by one, but the general makes it to the wall. As he attempts to scale the fortress, arrows pierce him directly through the chest. Shirou's leadership made their efforts look futile. Furious, the shogun sends a more seasoned warlord Nobutsuna. Over 125,000 men surround the fortress. Beyond these men were anchored ships from the Dutch. They also had mounted cannons in the near distance. The warlord attempts to bribe them. Food, land, and tax relief only if they abandoned their faith and left the castle. Some of them did indeed defect, but majority stayed at Shirou's side. We refuse. You refuse? You telling me you're not afraid of all these men? No. We have the Lord on our side.
I'm saying, like, we got God, bro.
Have your religion.
Come on.
The general then decides to switch up his strategy.
You save us
Instead
all.
of running headfirst into a barrage of arrows like the last guy, he decides to starve the Christians out. It was a devastating winter for the rebels. By March, they had run out of rice and resorted to eating the sacks that they came in. No water, no firewood, no gunpowder.
Okay.
Master Shirou, we're out of food. What do we do? Breathe, son. I want you to breathe. Now, feast your eyes on the powers of God. Behold. Wait, what? Are those posters? Yes. Putting these up to boost your morale.
That's
Those who
it?
stay with me will be my friends in the next world.
Crazy. Oh, the next.
I don't want morale, I want
Nah.
peace. Suddenly, cannonballs came flying into the castle, barely missing Shirou's sleeve. Unfortunately, they did hit 5 of his comrades. Time passes. The rebels have become desperate. They attempt to steal food and ammo from one of the shogunate camps, but got caught in the process. The troops slay the rebels. After doing so, they pry open their stomachs to find that they've only been consuming leaves and grass. One of the rebels, Yamada, could endure the pain no longer. He betrays Shirou and tells the shogunate that they're struggling to get by. Nobutsuna's hour had finally arrived. He storms the castle with fire arrows swarming the outside walls afterwards. As their one and only defense burned to the ground, the rebels fought with anything in arm's reach. Empty guns, cooking pots, you name it. But it was useless. The shogunate rushed furiously toward the citadel.
Dang, so like the leadership
Shirou
worked at
was forced
first,
to
but
witness a gruesome scene right
yeah,
before
later
his eyes.
it only goes so
Heads
far.
removed from the elderly, children pierced by spears, girls deprived of their innocence. He felt like their deaths were his fault, that he had led them astray. He wields his sword against the invaders and fights until they dismember both of his arms. After wasting so many lives, he prayed to God that in his next life, he would successfully purge the evil and create a pure world. His final words? I'll see you bitches in Apocrypha.
Dang.
Nearly
Yeah, haven't we seen
40,000
them?
rebels were massacred.
Here
that
we
day,
go.
and the only one that did survive was the traitor from before. After Shirou's rebellion, he was sent to be executed by
That
decapitation.
is
At
crazy.
17, the young priest had his head exposed outside Herod Castle. And then
What
later
am I
at Nagasaki for anyone else who wanted to start a rebellion. They also sent 3,000 more heads to Nagasaki as a lesson to the rest of the Catholics. Christianity was banned from Japan entirely until the 19th century. All Japanese were required to walk on a Christian image to prove their loyalty to the shogun. That about wraps it up. If you enjoyed the video, please like it up so we can get this trending. Feel free to add information as you see fit, and let me know what
Okay, wait. Did it get cut off? Alright, well that is it then. I mean, that was pretty much it to begin with. I was like, hold on, did something happen with my headphones? Okay, well, that was something. Let's see. Yeah, and this is what I'm talking about, like with Fate. Yeah, I just like how they bring in like religion and all that, and this is something from way back. Yeah, when it says lore, this is lore, right? Way back. Talking about some of the first guns and all that. Whatever that whistle thing, that was. Yeah, I don't know what that was. Ain't doing no damage, I'll say that. Bro, so was he like literally for real? Like he just. I mean, obviously not a poster. I don't think they would. I mean, it would be something similar, but like, would he show him like a drawing or something to boost their morale, or like a I don't know, a banner? I mean, I don't know. Something with some type of design or some artistic display, I guess. I don't know, but yeah, that is about it. That's crazy. So yeah, now this actually makes me want to go back and see how he actually, you know, acted. You know, I know there was a certain way he acted, but like, yeah, let me see how he really was acting, and if it was somewhat similar to this. Now the unfortunate thing is, you can, how can I put it? You can rely on the Lord, but you can't just rely on him like that, you know. I mean, miracles will happen, but you can't just, yeah, in desperate times like this, and you expect, yeah, God to just, I mean, it can happen, but like him to just simply, oh yeah, here's all the food you need, you know. I mean, a real miracle would have to happen for that. So thankfully there was no like what cannibalism. Cause I thought he was about to say that, like, you know, they started eating sacks, and then it's just, you're so desperate. It's like, okay, let me start eating people, you know, our comrades. So I hope none of that really happened. From what I was hearing, it shouldn't have, but yeah, I would not be surprised if they started doing it. That's typical, right? You know, running out of food, and it's like you still got enemies to deal with, and it's like, okay, we need to eat. I mean, we need to be strong somehow. I mean, if they just counterattack, you know, try and come back, and once they found out they had no food or anything, there we go. I mean, yeah, what are we gonna do? So yeah, of course, you know, it's just a realistic example. Thankfully, we don't have to deal with that in real life. Well, some people probably still do, which is just unfortunate. But for hopefully in, yes, the United States here, yeah, no one has to deal with that, hopefully. I would say guns are still a problem, definitely. Yeah, I don't even think that will, yeah, that problem, yeah, that just won't go down on the wall. Yep, guns, but that's for a whole nother discussion. But yeah, Fate and their like religion and what Greek and all that, yeah, I love that. You know, you actually just go back and actually go with like actual things that happen, and just make like a fictional character off of it, or a character that's already been made, but you just turn them into like somewhat like an anime and all that. Yeah, you guys know what I mean. Yeah, just take someone that's already been made, right? Or if they've already been fiction, right? But yeah, you just turn them into your own version of fiction. But it just depends. But other than that, yeah, I'm gonna just end it off here. Yeah, that was my lore of Shirou, and I'll definitely get back more on him. But yeah, for now, just get the basics here, right? Yeah, this was a lot. And I'll just say this right now, like, yeah, if it's something like this that's like way back ago, yeah, I probably won't understand like most of it, especially with like Greek and all that. But if you like kind of simply explain it like how he did here, then yeah, I'll understand at least some of it, right? You know, there's some things that I can at least know that make sense, right? You know, basically not treating your citizens right or treating your people right, making them pay for taxes. I understand that, you know, but it's just some older like mechanics and older things like guns back then. Like, yeah, okay, so how long are you talking about? So that's what I would have to think about. That's all. But yeah, simple stuff like, yeah, just being desperate for food, or having better, or just having no leadership and then getting leadership like Shirou here, and then now you're just getting all these good results. You know, I get that. But I'm gonna just end it off here. Hope you guys did enjoy. Make sure you have a like, subscribe again, and I'll just see you guys in the next one.